What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back this morning. This morning we're back for a brunch, man. This is Wednesday brunch. The waffle session in commence. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are new. We're going to be looking at and delving into a lot of news today. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't stream yesterday. I do apologize for not streaming yesterday. I was having problems with connecting the StreamYard to YouTube. I don't know why it just wasn't connecting. It wasn't actually picking up. So I couldn't stream yesterday, but we have sorted those technical issues out. So we are back again. Make sure we are hitting the like button, all of that type of stuff. We much appreciate every single one of you. This stream and this video has been brought to you by Fanatics as well, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you use the promo link in the description to get yourself some discounts from Fanatics. They have everything that you need when it comes to sports. So make sure you support the channel by clicking on that link. Big up the real ones in the building. I see you guys. I know everyone's been waffling away in the WhatsApp group. It's been a mad thing this morning. A number of different debates taking place in the group this morning. Really, really interesting stuff. I like the points that are being made by Rowe and by, a couple of the other guys like Youth and them, man. And yeah, man, it's always good vibes in the group. Early mornings, waking up to talk football with the gang. I love it. I love it. Big up Nathan in the building. Big up the rest of the boys. Big up all the members. Make sure you click on that join button if you want to become a member of the channel. We much appreciate every single one of you. Let me quickly switch up this backdrop. Let's get ourselves in the studio. Or actually, let's do Hugh Wizzy settings. We're doing up Hugh Wizzy settings. Free my guy Hugh, man. Free my guy Hugh. Big up every single one of you. So we're going to talk about this FFP situation with Chelsea and Everton first of all. This is interesting. We've done a video recently, or we've done a stream. I chopped it up. We put it out there about Arsenal situation. Arsene Wenger, what happened? What really happened to Arsene Wenger? Go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. Much appreciate all the love and the comments on that video. So go and check that out. But one of the people we spoke about, well, we didn't really speak about this person, but one of the people we did speak about in the video was Usmanov. And that guy, as we do know, is associated to one of the people that are also under the scrutiny of FFP at this moment in time with Everton. And that is Mashuri. And we're going to touch on him. It's very, very, very interesting situation that Everton find themselves in at the moment. Make sure you are hitting the like button, though. This situation right here with Chelsea is a mazza. We're being linked with Mudryk. It makes you want to throw up. I actually said it in a WhatsApp group this morning. The moment I heard that, I wanted to throw up because what I've seen of Mudryk so far in the Premier League just doesn't make any sense. He just doesn't look like that player that's going to take a team over the line. He actually looks like a player that's playing for a team that are in the right position for him right now, and that's mid-table. And that's the truth. If anything, he should be playing for an Everton. He should be playing for a Bournemouth or a Brentford, or that's the level of a Mudryk. We will obviously touch on the Mudryk details in a second, but it does kind of connect with this right here because Chelsea must make 100 million in sales before the end of June to avoid FFP breaches. Premier League rivals belief as Blues prepare for another summer exodus after Carabao Cup final defeat. As we do know, they got battered in the Carabao Cup. I mean, they didn't get battered, but you got battered. You get battered everywhere you go these days, Chelsea. Unfortunately for you, man. You got Poch driving your bus. Doesn't really know what he's doing over there at the moment. Got a bunch of kids that are just clueless, at a circus, acting like clowns at this moment in time. You got Sterling taking man on links. You got, blood, it's mad over there. It is mad over there at Stamford Bridge. And it could actually get even worse for them. And, Poch actually come out yesterday or the day before yesterday suggesting that the owners fully back him. So Chelsea fans do expect another season of Poch. I know there's a lot of you guys that want to get Poch gone. There's mans ranting and raving online. Get Poch out there, going mad. You man are lucky I ain't doing match reactions for these guys, or not match reactions, fan cam reactions for these guys, because there's a lot of content out there to be creating based on what Chelsea fans are putting out there. So, yeah, it's extremely interesting. Poch will be with you guys for another season, I believe, anyway. And in the summer, you guys are going to be selling a lot of your players, or trying to sell a lot of players. I'm not too sure who's going to be picking your dons up and how much money you're going to be making of these dons. But a big loss that you guys would have already taken, in my opinion, is Mudryk. And according to reports, Arsenal are interested in a shock summer move for this fraud. The Gunners were close to signing the 23-year-old before the deal was hijacked by the Blues in January last year. And I'm so glad that the deal was hijacked. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea. Hey, this is where Chelsea get credit, mate. This is where they get praise. Thank you for hijacking this one. We were all over this. There was a lot of PR for this. You know, Mikel Arteta and Edu were more or less grooming this don. Even Zinchenko's wife was involved in the program. But unfortunately, Chelsea come along and put stupid amounts of money on the table. And, they just, Shakhtar just said, listen, I don't care what you've done with Arsenal. I don't care what Arsenal have said to you. I don't care how much bum licking you've done online. You're going to Chelsea, my little friends. They've come with the belly, big belly Bowley. He's come along with the belly. And now you're going to Chelsea, my guy. So he's ended up at Chelsea. Things haven't been great for Mudryk. We have to be real. There are one or two people online that kind of give this guy credit, kind of believe that he has got the ability and the qualities to go on and be one of those type of players. But based on what I've seen of Mudryk, I want him far, far, far away from Arsenal. In fact, being at Stamford Bridge is too close to being at Arsenal, blood, because we know how it works. We know how it works. If you play for Chelsea, there could be a strong possibility that one day you play for Arsenal. I don't want that to happen. So, if these guys are going to sell him, if they do need to cough up 100 million in sales over the next couple of months, because that's what the report says. By June they need to cough up 100 million, and Mudryk is going to be on that chopping block. Make sure you send him out of London, send him out of England, blood, send him back to Shakhtar. That's where he belongs, in that Farmers League that nobody watches. A lot of gas for this guy. There was a lot of gas. I mean, I even was partially involved in the gas based on the eye test. Mudryk looked like an electrifying player, but I always said, take into account the league that he's playing in. That you have to consider that league, because can he come and do it in the Premier League? Can he do it on the big stages like La Liga? Can he play against Barcelona and do it? There were one or two games in the Champions League where I think he did stand out. I can't remember who it was. It might have been against Bayern Munich. There was a big club that he played good against and obviously got a lot of PR after that. But seeing him in the Premier League, he doesn't look like the player that I would want to see at Arsenal Football Club. Not that type of guy. And I think it's a mental problem with Mudryk. I think he's got technical qualities, a good shot, decent technique. His pass can be good, but ultimately what lets this guy down is his mentality, it's his decision making, it's his timing, it's his understanding of utilizing the right spaces and getting into the right positions. Like, it's all a mental thing with Mudryk. And on that basis, you can't have him in this system. You can't have him come and play for a team that are dominating possession, unless he's going to be one of those guys that are just literally doing nothing, and you just hit one ball over the top and he manages to get in behind and bang. Other than that, I just don't think Mudryk's going to offer you anything. I think if you try and put him in a team like Arsenal, where we are dominating possession, there's a strong possibility that this is a guy that's going to give the ball away a lot of the time. He's going to give the ball away. He's going to get caught on the ball. He's going to make poor decisions in his passing. Like, this is that type of guy. Them way there. You don't want him at Arsenal, bruv. Fabio Vieira signed for Arsenal because he played well against City. One game does not mean you are at the level. Exactly that, man. And you can't judge a player on one game. It has to be a consistency of games and form and everything that comes with it. Do you know what I mean, man? And this is the problem these days, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's a lot of people online that will kind of base a player's quality on one game. Oh, he's world class because he had one game. It's the same with Anthony. Big up Paul. He's mentioned Anthony in the chat. Anthony's another one. Like Ten Hag. Oh, speaking of Ten Hag, what a flipping fraud Ten Hag is. When Ten Hag talks, I swear, Dan, I don't listen. I don't want to listen. People might feel that way about me. Who cares? But like Ten Hag has actually come out and said, listen, Anthony is one of the best players in the world. He's like, what I've seen of this guy, no defender can take on Anthony, basically. He can beat any defender. And he was given a lot of credit, a lot of praise to Anthony. Slightly delusional. Not even slightly, like fully delusional. We have to be real. But what's so fun is just the way Ten Hag talks and delivers and, Says whatever he says. It's kind of funny. Mudryk is a B-Tech Pepe, says Nick. I agree with that. I would actually prefer Pepe over Mudryk, to be quite fair. And you guys know how I feel about Nicolas Pepe. Forget that bum Mudryk. Absolutely. Let's just hope it's all fake. I don't believe in it, by the way. We've moved on from it already. That's literally all we had on Mudryk. We wasn't going to talk about Mudryk for that long. And I've probably done about 6 minutes on him, but yeah, I don't believe in it. I'm not going to be buying into any Mudryk bullshit, to be quite fair. As I said, keep him far away from Arsenal Football Club. Big up my guy Chin David. Big up Chris. He says Chelsea becoming a feeder club for Arteta to show them how to get the best out of their players. Interesting. Big up Adam. He says they're expecting 100 million for Gallagher, Broya, and Chalobah. Now they're going to have to sell their top dons, isn't it? Because I don't think, the Enzo Fernandez's, and even though Enzo Fernandez has come out recently, I kind of backed the project at Chelsea and said, "Listen, I'm here to stay. Whatever's being said in the press is bullshit." Cool. You've got that energy now, but have that energy come the summer when teams are coming along that are ready to give you Champions League football, that are ready to give you the same wages or if not more wages than you're getting at Chelsea, and you man are just doing up Premier League football next season, And if Poch stays, like Poch could be like a big decider in many of those players staying or going, because I don't think everyone there is buying into Poch, and Poch is not, Poch is not really doing himself any favors in the media. He's literally throwing the players under the bus, and he's throwing players under the bus by saying certain things. And when I say, use that, throwing the players under the bus, you keep highlighting this £1 billion project. You keep highlighting the fact that you never brought them to the club and they were here before you, and it's not your problem, and blah, 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 blah. You sounding like a coward. I have to be totally honest. He is sounding like a big coward. And on that basis, he can be, the decider for a player on whether they're staying or whether they're going, them way there. I don't think they're going to get quite a lot of money for the players that they're trying to, put on the market. I think Big Belly Bowley is going to have a problem trying to shift off some of the players. The only thing that works in his favor is that a lot of the Dons are young. They're young, 21, 22, 23, young players that, teams will be, eager to get their hands on, but at the right price, of course, at the right price. But yeah, this situation with Poch, he's if you're a Chelsea fan watching this, big you guys up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, but it's not looking good for you, man. It's not looking good. Okay, so let's move on from Chelsea. Let's move on from these fraudulent Dons. Make sure we are hitting the like buttons, all of that type of palaver, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate every single one of you real ones. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. More Premier League stories, more Premier League news. We've got Brighton's manager, Robert De Zerbi, being linked with a number of teams at the moment. Of course, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United. Probably all will be looking for a new manager at one point. I mean, Liverpool are looking for a new manager. Chelsea and Manchester United seem to be kind of back in their project at this moment in time. But it just depends on how the rest of the season goes, in my opinion. Chelsea's kind of a different story, I think, because they're already in the mud. They might not sack Poch and they'll probably keep him for another season. But Ten Hag could be a different story. I think they're having meetings about whether they should keep Ten Hag at Man United or not. So, yeah, they're more or less on the lookout for a new manager as well. And Robert De Zerbi is on the list for a number of teams, including Barcelona, including teams in Italy as well. So, he's definitely a wanted manager. And people have kind of compared him to Mikel Arteta. There has been a really good debate over the comparison. But, when you look at it now, what Mikel Arteta has actually done with this Arsenal team and where he's put Arsenal, I don't think there is a debate to be had. I think Mikel Arteta is kind of outweighs Robert De Zerbi. And I'm not a person that wants Robert De Zerbi. I don't really want him. I wouldn't take him at Arsenal Football Club if Mikel Arteta was a manager that got sacked. Another manager that's actually safe at this moment in time is Vincent Kompany. Bournemouth have come out in support of Vincent Kompany. Burnley, sorry, my bad. Burnley have come out in support of Vincent Kompany. They said even if they get relegated, his job is still safe. Surprisingly, they're looking for that parachute money. They're hoping for the parachute money. Burnley blood. Burnley have got no ambition. They got a decent team, a couple of young players in their team that could be poached by other Premier League clubs. But they're never not a yo-yo team, but they're happy to be a yo-yo team because they get paid to be a yo-yo team. Imagine you get paid for winning it, then you get paid for being relegated, and the parachute payments are decent amounts of money. So they're probably looking forward to that, and they're saying, well, as long as we can continue to win the championship, I mean, at least we win some silverware. And Vincent Company, you're fine. You're absolutely fine on that basis. Yeah, absolutely fine. We've got a number of stories that we are going to be running through in regards to Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Hit the like button. Some interesting stuff to talk about in regards to Arsenal. But I want to move on to Everton, the Everton situation with Missouri at the moment. They have been deducted 10 points. And then just to let you guys know, some of those points were substituted, basically. Well, the whole thing was substituted in more or less. It was 10 points and then 6 points, right? But there was a further case, and Everton now expected a 12-point deduction in total as news emerges on second charges. So Everton's really in a pickle, and it's all down to this guy here, blood. Remember, this guy was the Red and White Company. We spoke about the Red and White Company, partially, obviously, Usmanov being the main highlight, in a video that we done the other day, in a chopped up clip video. So go and check that out. Really interesting story based on my investigations. I believe that's a fact, what I said in that video. I proper believe in everything that I said in that video. So please go and check it out. I know there were bits that I missed. There were bits that I can still add to kind of give you more context and give you more understanding. So if anyone did have any questions, then feel free to let me know. But anyway, Missouri was a part of the Red and White Company. He branched off from Usmanov and decided to buy Everton. And when he bought Everton, the focus for this guy was to catapult them and take them to the heights of Man City, Arsenal, all of that. And obviously, his understanding of that transition would have come from Arsenal. His time of kind of analysing Arsenal and being a part of what Usmanov was doing at Arsenal. And of course, other people that he would have been connected with in the business world. The people over in Saudi Arabia, how they kind of approached. They kind of approached the football market and so on and so forth. But it wasn't as easy as he thought it was going to be, because what we done at Arsenal was totally different. What we done at Arsenal is we didn't spend for years, but we got the results we needed. We made things happen. We kept getting the numbers we needed. We kept building our foundations. We kept building up our reputation outside of the UK. We became a world-renowned football club, even when we were going through that difficult time of not spending anything and owners are going back and forth and there was no real progression being made. We had already done that work and still was doing that work, but it was just kind of like at drips and drabs. So for those years of not spending any money, Arsenal was still progressing around the world in terms of still generating fans, still selling shirts, still doing all the things, business, X, Y, and Z. So we were growing financially still, but slowly. And it was hard. It was difficult for us to keep up with the Man Cities and the Chelseas and the Man Uniteds, who were growing significantly. The amount of money that these men were generating in comparison to Arsenal and spending was totally different. And that's why we were getting left behind. And Arsenal couldn't do anything until Usmanov left. So we could then increase the financial operation to then start spending the way we have been spending since KSC have become the owners, basically. So, we've been taken back so many years. And look, Missouri tried to go into Everton with the same type of vision, same type of mindset. Now, the only problem for Everton is Everton haven't been that guy. Everton haven't been that club. Everton, yeah, they've never been relegated, so that's something that they can hold. But you've never been a team, really, other than under a few little spell with David Moyes, whereby you was finishing 8th, 6th, 4th, not even 4th, what am I saying? 6th, 7th, 8th. Like, you was like a Europa League kind of finishing team. So there was kind of a moment where you could have gone over the line. But ultimately, it all collapsed for Everton, and what their finances were generating and everything else that came with that football club just wasn't on par with a Man United in the history that they had done and what they had generated at X, Y, and Z. So my man's tried to go in there without really taking into account all of that context I've just given you, and he's just tried to make Everton into this big, massive powerhouse. And you know, to a degree, it's been extremely difficult. I mean, not even to a degree, it has been fully extremely. It's been fully extremely. It has been extremely difficult for him. And now he's paying the price for it. He took money off of Usmanov as well. Remember, there was the money that he was taken off of Usmanov that was deemed to be a sponsor. You know, I don't know how the football side, the football thing works. I don't know how you know, FFP work when it comes to money being put into a club as a sponsor. I don't know how it works and how that's deemed, and if that like whatever. But that was put into the club, and I think that was to kind of alleviate some of the financial pressure that Everton was under. So they took that as a sponsor, 400 million or some craziness like that. However, these men are in a financial mess. They've done you know, some BS over the years, and now they're paying the price for it. Mashuri doesn't actually know what he's doing. And that's the problem with Everton fans. If Everton want to go to the next level, if Everton want to, you know, become a team of, you know, being an Arsenal or whatever it may be, then you have to get rid of the owner. You have to get rid of the owner. The owner doesn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo on what he is actually doing. You know, then way there. They did finish fourth once, but lost CL qualifier. Big up Adam. I didn't even know that, you know. And you know what? I did think I saw them high up there at one point. Maybe that were, I'm just taking myself back and thinking that could have been mid-season, maybe. But they might have finished fourth. If they did, boy, I big them up. That's probably the times when Liverpool were just off the radar, isn't it? Because there was a time there was other teams fighting for that fourth spot because Liverpool were just, they were missing. Like Liverpool were finishing up 9th and 8th and 10ths and doing up low numbers, boy. It was a difficult and torrid time for them, man. But yeah, this situation with Everton, you know, you're going to get deducted 12 points altogether. I don't know if it's going to be implemented this season, but that could be detrimental to your chances of staying up. And if Everton do not stay up, then do expect a full takeover. There will be a takeover. I think there'll be a takeover at Everton anyway. I think it's inevitable at this moment in time. I think Mashuri has come under so much scrutiny and so much pressure due to this FFP situation that he's just going to decide to say, you know what, blood, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to get this club to where it needs to be. It takes a lot of work, my guy. You can't just throw money at it and expect for that to work. It comes with football knowledge. It comes with understanding what people to bring in. I think Roman Abramovich is the key, actually. Roman Abramovich come in to the football world and gave people like Mashuri a lot of ambition, blood. Then, man, he gave man mad amounts of ambition. Mad. Because man come in and just changed the game financially. And I think with Roman was very, very knowledgeable. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew the people to hire. He got it done. He executed it, blood. It doesn't happen every day, boy. It doesn't happen every day. So yeah, you have to kind of give it up to Mashuri for actually trying. But ultimately, yeah, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. And he's gonna have to just move on now, man. Move on and let someone else take over Everton. Otherwise, Everton could just be like a Burnley. They could be a Burnley, bloods. Well, they are Burnley, more or less, man. You know, that David Moyes era was time ago, blood. And he tried to come back and save them. And, you know, that didn't even work. You know, they're way there. So, and they've had Carlo, blood. They've had Don Carlo. Can you imagine? They've had Don Carlo. Bro, that is mad. They've had managers, Rafa Benitez. These man proper tried. These man proper tried to overhaul that club, boy. It didn't work. It didn't work. All right, let's move on to some Arsenal news now, ladies and gentlemen. Big bad Arsenal. Big up every single one of you guys in the building. Make sure we are hitting the like button. I'm going to run through some of these comments. Just to quickly touch on the Barcelona manager situation. It says Barcelona are in the final stages of their process of selecting a new coach. Now, the 4 candidates they do have is Hansi Flick, Roberto De Zerbi, Julian Nagelsmann, and Thomas Tuchel. So that's they're the 4 top favorites right now for the Barcelona job. And if I'm a Barcelona fan, none of those managers excite me. I have to be honest. I can see Hansi Flick here in the job. Hansi Flick's record at Bayern Munich speaks for itself. So I think they're going to more or less turn to Hansi Flick and he will get that job. Make sure you clip this because, yeah, I think that's going to happen. That's my prediction for that. Anyway, let's move on to some Arsenal talk now. There's a player that Arsenal have been looking at, Inacio, or Sporting Lisbon for quite some time, ladies and gentlemen. And there was talks a little while ago to suggest that we were actually pushing to get this one done. Personal terms potentially agreed, something along those lines. Can't remember exactly, but there's a number of teams interested at this moment. We've got Newcastle, basically the front runners, according to this one right here. Let me just quickly go back. I can't even see the report. What does it say? It says Newcastle are planning to pay the price for the release clause of the defender Goncalo Inacio. Now, the release clause is only £51 million, 51 million, or it might even be less than that. It might be 52 million euros, which probably works out to be about 45 million pounds. So this would be a deal I would be all over. PSG, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United have been linked with a 22-year-old Portuguese defender or Sporting CP. And Inacio has a release clause of 55 million euros. So that's what it is, 55 million. So, I mean, this is a player that I would 100% be going for. Arsenal were 100% looking at centre-backs. We've been looking at Matthias de Ligt. We're looking at this guy. We've been looking at Mark Gahey of Crystal Palace. We've been looking at Tomori, again, homegrown centre-backs as well. So we've been looking at centre-backs. Big up Serrado in the building. Now, but love and respect to you. Big up LB, says Rafa Benitez. That's what I'm saying. Everton has some good managers, man. Everton making a new stadium, and Everton finished 4th under Moyes. Liverpool 5th. There we go. Big up Ashley. He remembers, man. Wax, get the DD autobiography. That might change your mind on a few things. Yeah, no, listen, I've read parts of that biography. I've read parts of the biography, I'm telling you. There was obviously other things behind the scenes that led David Dean to obviously calling it a day. You know, there was a few things, man. You know, but not everything is as it seems, ladies and gentlemen. Let me always put that out there. Not everything is as it seems. Big up my guy Mad Miaz, man. Good to see you in the chat. Haven't seen you for a while, my G. Money fouled Chelsea. The rich also cry. Big up Joseph. I see you. Is that the RB that had Martinelli shook? No, you're talking about Inacio. Inacio is a centre back, I believe. Yeah, he's a centre back. If that's who you're referring to, Nathan. Anyway, yeah, man, this guy's a good player. Someone that I would definitely bring in at Arsenal. And Arsenal are 100% looking at another centre back. Let's see what we can do in the market. Big up Big Tommy says I can't stand Ten Hag. Yeah, I don't think anyone can stand him. He's starting to get annoying for me. I actually liked it when he was at Ajax, but then again, I didn't really know him personally, did I? And now I've got kind of like I want to say a personal connection to him, but I've got more of a feel of what his personality is really like and what his character's like and what type of person he really is, isn't it? Because you're seeing him more or less every single week with the press conferences. And yeah, I'm not really a Ten Hag fan anymore anyway. I liked what he was doing at Ajax, as I said, but yeah, he hasn't been able to transmit that at Manchester United. And unfortunately for him, I mean, it could come to an end. I think their new owner or the guy that's gone in there, Radcliffe, as a partial owner, is ready to just call it a day and bring in someone that can do a job. Who are they looking at, actually? Who are they looking at? I see a report. I can't remember who they were looking at, but they're looking at a replacing Ten Hag. But anyway, let's get back to some Arsenal stuff, man. So yeah, man, let's see what happens with this Inacio centre-back. That could be an interesting one. Just to let you guys know that Arsenal have officially paid off for the Nicolas Pepe deal. Every single penny has now been paid for Nicolas Pepe's contract, as well as the fee to Lille. Just to confirm, it's a total 130 million pounds. 130 million pounds. What a waste of money down the drain, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe Arsenal have done that. Can they sponsor me? Can they sponsor this channel? All I need is about 200 grand. Can you do that? 250k. Can you do that, blood? If you're just going to chuck money down the drain like that, boy, that is crazy. Anyway, moving on. Arsenal's concern over Gabriel Jesus' injury record is a factor in their striker search. Now, there were 4 main options, and I have to be totally honest, I'm not overly keen on all these options that Arsenal are looking at here. So you've got Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney, Joshua Zertsky and Victor Gyökeres. Now, Victor Gyökeres is absolutely on fire at this moment in time. He is on fire, but he's playing over in the Portuguese league. It's not like he can't transmit that over here in the Premier League, because we've seen Darwin Núñez come over here and he has performed to a certain level and he has done well to a degree. And then Fabio Vieira is obviously a question mark, but I just think it's kind of a mental thing for Fabio. And once he learns that, once he grows and develops, I think he's going to be. I think Fabio Vieira is going to be on smoke. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it, but I think Fabio Vieira is going to be on smoke. However, Victor Gyökeres has played in the Championship and he's literally destroyed the Championship, as we do know. So I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, this guy, out of all of the players here, out of all the players on this list, obviously barring Ivan Toney, we'll make an exception for Ivan Toney. Out of the other two, I think Victor Gyökeres would make a lot of sense. And I think he could come in and have that impact that he did, not only in the Championship, that he's having over in Portugal. He's on 40 GA at this point in the season. Victor Gyökeres, 40 GA at this point in a season, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. The guy's on smoke. The only people that you see do that, or you know have done that recently, is Haaland. Haaland is the only one of recent that's really put up those type of numbers, regardless of what the league is, you know. And then when you look next to Haaland, you're looking at elite players, you know. Some people are sitting there, and I am one of those actually, that will argue whether Haaland sits in the same conversation as a Messi and Ronaldo. He doesn't. He definitely doesn't, you know. When you take all context into consideration, he definitely doesn't, right? But Haaland's numbers are in that conversation. Gyökeres has done 40 GA so far. How many more goals is he going to get? How many more assists is he going to get? Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Now, the only problem with Victor Gyökeres, and this is a big problem for everyone, is the amount of money that Sporting Lisbon are going to ask for. Yeah, for Victor Gyökeres, they want 100 million release clause triggered. How the hell did we all miss this? How did we miss the Victor Gyökeres train? How did we miss it, blood? Honestly, he was in the Championship for about 2 or 3 different teams, smashing it up. Like literally smashing up. Let's just quickly get his numbers on the screen so we can verify what numbers he was actually putting up on the screen in the Championship. Victor. Yeah, so Victor Gyökeres. Let's go to stats. Share these. All right, so just in the league, yeah, for Sporting Lisbon this season, he's got 17 goals and 8 assists. He's only played 21 games. He played for Coventry, Brighton. He played for Brighton. What? I didn't even know he played for Brighton. How did Brighton let this Don go? Wow. He played for Swansea and Coventry as well. Let's just look at what he was doing for these teams. So for Coventry, he put up 21 goals and 12 assists, blood, in 49 games. That's in the Championship. The numbers that he put up both the back-to-back seasons just for Coventry deserved a look-in. Like, man should have been looking at this Don. Like, all the top teams in the Premier League should be looking at this Don. Rah. Man's put up 12 and 21. Yeah? 12 and 21 in 49 games, and he's done 17 a season prior. All right? Then you look at what he done at Swansea. No goals for Swansea. No goals. Look at that. Totally vanished. I didn't even know that. Imagine that. Look at that. No GA whatsoever. Obviously, we have to look at what happened, but we don't know right now what happened. Brighton, a very, very similar situation. Didn't obviously play any games. Played a few FA Cup games. Scored a goal. Got an assist in 3 games. Surprising Brighton let this guy go. Doesn't make any sense. But they did. And obviously smashed it up at Coventry. Everybody fouled to look at this player. And he's gone to Sporting Lisbon and absolutely destroyed it. Now, he's in Sporting Lisbon, destroying it. They want £100 million at a bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of crack are these men smoking? You know, like, this is crazy. And this is another reason why you have to question certain decisions, right? Because, and this is across the board for all clubs, because of Victor Gyökeres in the Championship, doing up those numbers, was only bought for, I think, about 20 million, 15 million. That is a massive, massive, massive ROI. Massive. So any business-minded dons that missed this one, I don't know how you missed it, blood. I don't know how you missed it. I swear they need to get me in the boardroom. I swear down they need to get me in the boardroom with these white-collar dons, because I won't be missing these deals, but I'll be making every single club rich, blood. No joke, yeah. Victor Gyökeres, and I when he was signing for Sporting Lisbon, we were talking about this when he was being linked. I said, no, Victor Gyökeres is someone that we should be looking at. If we want a striker and we want a budget, they're selling this guy for 15, 20 million. He's proven in back-to-back seasons in the Championship that he can do 50 plus goals, blood. So what can he do in the Premier League in a team that are controlling possession? This guy's going to be bagging. He's going to be bagging. So, yeah, everyone missed out on him. But he's being linked with Arsenal now. I just don't know anymore. 100 million, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then the other players that are on this list, obviously, Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen, we spoke about them guys so much. It actually given me a migraine already just thinking about it. Joshua Zirkzee is the other man that I wanted to kind of touch on because he has done extremely well for Bologna over in Italy. And they find themselves in a good position as well, ladies and gentlemen, interestingly. I think they're only about fifth in the league or something like that. They're like fifth in the league or something like that. But, you know, Joshua's, you know, had a decent time. He's only 22 years old. And the only problem for me with Joshua is that he doesn't seem like the type of striker we need at Arsenal Football Club. He's more like of a Joao Felix type player. That's the type of player he is. He's a Joao Felix type player. He's not what we need. We want a Victor Gyökeres. We want that profile. That's the profile. We want a Dusan Vlahovic. We want that profile. We don't want a Joshua Zirkzee. Even though I think Joshua Zirkzee would fit well, it's not what we're looking for profile-wise. I think he could come in and play an 8 at Arsenal. You know, he could like when you're looking at a player and you're saying, all right, cool, let me transition him into an 8, like we've done with Kai Havertz. This is the type of player you would look at and say, yeah, I can do that with. Kai Havertz didn't make any sense to me. And this is the reason why I'm very adamant that I don't want to see Kai Havertz play as an 8. I only want to see Kai Havertz play as a 9. I don't want to see him play as an 8. If he plays as an 8, I'm not backing it, blood. I'm not backing it because I know it's going to fail. If we play him as a 9, I'm more happy and optimistic about our chances because we've seen a lot of the time Kai Havertz has turned up when he's played as the number 9. So anything else, I'm not really supporting. So Joshua Zirkzee, anyway, if we look at his numbers quickly, just to see what he's kind of putting up over in Syria at the moment. He has 9 goals and 3 assists in 25 games. So not overly clinical. It's not on par with what Gyökeres is actually producing, but there's still numbers there. We have to also take into account he is playing for Bologna, and they're not obviously the greatest of teams, you know. But this does look like a player that Arsenal will aim to push for, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know your thoughts. Out of the names we just mentioned, Ivan Toney, Victor Gyökeres, Joshua Zirkzee, and Victor Osimhen. Who are you taking? Who do you want at Arsenal? Do comment down below. Let me know. Quickly moving on to this one. Arsenal will also be looking to sign a central midfielder, as we do know, with Martin Zubimendi amongst the club's targets. An out-and-out winger also is on the cards to supplement Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. And that's according to Sammy Mockbell, who does a lot of talking about Arsenal Football Club, as we do know. He's 6'3", though. We talk about Victor Gyökeres or Joshua Zirkzee. Don't know. As long as we move on, Eddie, and make Jesus a rotation option, I'll be happy, says Christopher Ward. Big you up, my guy. Big up Troy, says, I'll sell Jesus, the gingerbread boy. The gingerbread boy. What? Where did he get that name from? Wax, do you agree with the CB links we already have? Gabby Saliba, White, Tommy, and Kivior that can play there. Interesting, yeah. I mean, look, White's probably not going to play as a CB. He's going to be that main right back, and then we're going to have Yuri and Timber kind of switching between left back, right back, or whatever Mikel Arteta has in plan for him. I think we can actually deal with another right back. You know, I think we can maybe get a right back in. Tomiyasu's a problem. I like Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu, for one, has never really played centre back for Arsenal, and for two, is an injury-prone player. Man, he's injury-prone. Look, he's come back for the Japan, whatever, and. Where is he? Where is he, blood? He hasn't been back. I haven't seen him. Mikel Arteta keeps telling us he's the one that's got probably the serious injury out of everyone, but we probably won't even see Thomas Partey as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think these are the stones that we can have to move on. Tomiyasu, sorry, my guy, we're gonna have to move you on. I think Tomiyasu right now, even though he's got this injury, I think selling Tomiyasu now is probably the highest price we're gonna get for Tommy. We've just given him a new contract as well. That contract hasn't even been announced by Arsenal, surprisingly. It's been confirmed by Fabrizio. Fabrizio keeps retweeting the same old tweets like that he put out months ago about this contract, because he wants people to know that he wasn't flipping bullshitting, you know. But for whatever reason, Arsenal are not announcing it. Weird. But anyway, he's more or less signed a new contract. But I think that was just to protect the value, and in the next couple of months, maybe 12 months at max, we'll be looking to sell Tomiyasu. So if we're looking to sell Tomiyasu, if that's a part of the plan, if Arsenal want to sell Tomiyasu in the next 12 months, sorry, then we have to start looking at those players to come in now. We'll start looking at those players now. In fact, we might even bring one of them in now, and then we'll slowly just weed Tomiyasu out the door. Like, that's how it is, you know, then we're there. So let's see what happens, man. But we've got a few players in cover. I just think we need upgrades. Zertsky 6'3". Okay, I didn't even know. I like the sporting striker, says King Bucks. I think he is the guy for us. Very aggressive. What I like about Gyökeres as well is Gyökeres is, you know, he's more or less like a complete type striker. You might not have, you know, certain qualities like Dusan Vlahovic. You know, one of the reasons I like Dusan is because of his free kicks. His free kicks are worldly, and that is exactly what we're missing in this Arsenal team right now. We're trying to figure things out set piece wise. You know, we've just found a gem in Declan Rice when it comes to corner kicks. We're still trying to figure out the free kick specialist, though, aren't we? We don't really have that nailed down yet, and I think bringing in a Dusan Vlahovic not only gives you so much quality moving forward in the final third, but it also gives you that specialist free kick taken. You know, very, very well rounded, just like King Buck says, and that's very, very similar to Gyökeres. And what I like about Gyökeres as well is that he is someone that will be getting on the end of mostly everything. Dusan Vlahovic probably won't get on the end of everything. I don't think he will get on the end of everything. I think his goal conversion will be much more higher than Jesus's and Eddie Nketiah's, but I just don't think Dusan gets on the end of everything. Victor Gyökeres is a guy that gets on the end of everything, that whether it's near post, back post, whether it's headers, where he's on everything, you know, then way there. And this is the reason why you want that type of player, because with the way we're playing, and Arsenal like doing crosses, you know, inverted crosses, you know, cutbacks and so on and so forth. He's a person that anticipates all of those. He's a great striker to anticipate that. And again, he's not proven in the Premier League, but the data and you know what you see on the eye just tells you all you need to know. Do you know them way there? So Victor Gyökeres is definitely a shout. I'm just sad that we've missed out on that 15, 20 million price tag that we could have got him for only in the summer, man. Only in the summer. Sad. But yeah, Martin Zubimendi looks like he's going to be one of the priorities for Arsenal moving into the summer window. Let's see, you know, what winger we will target, because it is being said that, you know, Pedro Neto is a priority, and which other winger was we looking at? There's another winger that we've been looking at. Maybe we might be looking at Joshua Zertsky to come in and play that role, because he's got those type of qualities as well. So he could be in the frame to come in to kind of supplement Martinelli and Saka. But let's see, man. Let's see how it goes. All right, the last main topic of discussion, the person that I want to finish the stream off on, is my man Joao Palhinha. Yeah, now this is the midfielder that I would love to see at Arsenal. This is a game changer for me. This is Premier League proven. This is solidity. This is defensive qualities. This is offensive qualities. This is aggression. This is intimidation. This is passion. This is leadership. This is so much. You know, this is a game changer for any top four club. Any top four club in the Premier League. Joao Palhinha is a game changer. Now, people will mention, oh, he's 28, no wax. I don't care he's 28, blood. That's a perfect profile and experience for these young dons. You want Lokonga to be a proper number 6, then partner him up with Joao Palhinha. And then when we've got big games, those higher pressure games, we're shutting shit down with Joao Palhinha and Declan Rice in central midfield. Are you stupid? Those two dons in midfield would allow players like Odegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, Saka. It would allow them to free roam and play with so much more creativity, you know? Ah, bro, this is the type of midfield you would love to see, man. There's so many profiles out there that would give you this, this type of support and this quality as well. But Joao Palhinha, for the fact that he's playing in the Premier League, he's already in London, and we can get this guy for maybe about £50 million, £45 million, even 40 million if we, haggle Fulham. I don't think Fulham are a team that I know they've done well and they find themselves in a position where they don't necessarily need to sell because they're not in the red. A team that are swinging mid-table after recently being promoted from the Championship wouldn't find themselves in a financial mess based on results that they have been generating. Their results at Fulham have kept them above water, and Marco Silva deserves massive amounts of credit for the team that he's put together over there at Fulham. But now Fulham have to make a decision. The decision that Fulham need to make, and I think they've already made this decision, hence why Palhinha probably will leave in the summer, is that if you want to take it to the next level, if you want to go up that next level, if you want to take it to eighth, I mean, they're probably already swinging kind of eighth and that. But if you want to take it to those Europa League positions, that's the level you, man, want to take it to. Then you're going to have to sacrifice one of these dons. One of these dons are going to have to be sacrificed. Wax, do you think we need an attacking 8 instead of a defensive one, though? Well, what I think Declan Rice is going to be that attacking 8. That is exactly what Mikel Arteta was trying to turn him into. Mikel Arteta is literally trying to turn Declan Rice into what Steven Gerrard become. Remember, Steven Gerrard was a 6. Steven Gerrard actually played at centre-back sometimes for Liverpool in his early days. He was very, very deep. Then as Steven Gerrard got older, Steven Gerrard become the man that spearheaded Liverpool. He become a 10. He went from a 6 to being a 10. And that's exactly what Mikel Arteta, the thinking behind Mikel Arteta and Declan Rice is. He wants Declan Rice to be a part of the main core in that midfield. And you're going to be the 8. You're going to be the guy that spearheads the defense, but you also spearhead the attack. You're both guys, just like Steven Gerrard was. So yeah, I would play with both of them. I would, and you got to think, like, if you've got Joao Palhinha and Declan Rice at your disposal, and you're going up against Man City, you're going up against Liverpool. Oh my God, bro, them man are not. Come on. They're the games that you need that partnership for. You need that partnership for the Champions League games. You need those partnership for that quarterfinal against Real Madrid, and it's 1-1. It's 1-1 on aggregate. You need those two partners. You need those two partners for a Champions League final, an FA Cup final. That's what you need that for. You might not need it every week. You might say, you know what, Declan Rice, you're going to be the 6. Joao Palhinha, you're benched. It could be either way. We could go extremely defensive. Imagine what we could do if we still had Jorginho as an example, because we know Jorginho can play ball, right? We know Jorginho's got the tech. Jorginho can pick passes from anywhere. So let's say we did sign this Don as well, and we're going up against a Real Madrid, or we're going up against a Man City, and this game is a very, very important game. Odegaard, sorry, my guy, bench. Declan Rice, Joao Palhinha, and Jorginho. The way that shuts up shop, the way that allows Jorginho to flourish and obviously be creative as well. I think he picks out better passes and more intelligent passes than Odegaard in those moments. We're cooking Man City. We're cooking them. They're not breaking that midfield down. And then you got the wide wing backs in Timber and let's say Ben White at this point, that are giving that midfield even more strength. Well, you ain't breaking that down, blood. Then you got Saliba and Gabriel behind them. Fuck off. Hey, listen, that's the midfield that wins you the league. That's the midfield that more or less, I know nothing's guaranteed, but that's the midfield where you could actually say, I think Arsenal have got the league now. I think Arsenal, this is Arsenal's league, blood. As long as you've got that striker that can bag, then everything else falls into place, man, because our team right now is solid. I just think we need to bring in one more of those players that are not injury prone, that has, both elements to his game, defensive and attacking, and boom, there we go, man. We're going to be on fire. We're going to be on smoke, But I still think we need an attacking-minded player as well, especially if we get rid of ESR. If ESR goes, then we need an attacking-minded player. If Fabio Vieira goes, we need an attacking-minded player. But we also have to take them into consideration when we're thinking about this team. I think Fabio Vieira right now is good enough to be coming off the bench. He's good enough to be in and around this first team. However, is he good enough to be that guy? Has he got the potential to be that guy? Yes. Is he going to be that guy? We don't know. A big part of this is not only down to Fabio Vieira, but it's also down to Mikel Arteta and how Mikel Arteta can develop him, and how Mikel Arteta can help him, find himself. Because that's all it is with Fabio Vieira. It's a mental thing. It's not a technical thing. I don't even think it's a physical thing as much. Yeah, we can say he needs to jump on the weights, and he needs to eat some yam and some dumplings and all that type of stuff. We can banter him on all of that, but ultimately, it's a mental thing for Fabio Vieira. It's about just being confident in being involved more. Do you know what I mean? It's being confident in knowing that you can be involved and you can call for the ball and you can, dictate and manipulate from these areas, and be confident in doing that. In being confident in knowing you can do that. Because Fabio Vieira can do that. We know what Fabio Vieira can do, but it's about him finding the confidence to do it. Do you know what I mean? So that's all Fabio Vieira is lacking. Once Fabio Vieira gains that confidence, and I think it could be now, I think it could be after this injury that's kept him out for so long, because it's going to make him gain hunger. It's going to make him gain motivation. Obviously, it can go left, because we do know what groin injuries are like. We were talking about groin injuries the other week. When I had my groin injury, boy, football went left for me, and I don't think I ever believed in myself ever again after that. It's true facts. I think that's true facts, But and you can kind of say the same for ESR at this point as well. If ESR had the same injuries, come back, hasn't been the same ever since. So I know some people are still unsure about Fabio, but I think Fabio has the qualities. I think he's got it. I 100% believe in Fabio Vieira. Do you know what I mean? I'll call players out. I will always call players out, but I 100% believe in Fabio Vieira. So let's see what he does when he comes back. Wax, have you seen the links to the young Turkish attacker at Juventus? Yeah, we spoke about it the other day. Kenan Yildiz is a very, very good young player. He actually played for Bayern Munich before he joined Juventus. And Juventus find themselves in a predicament at the moment. They want to... they're going to need to sell players. Kenan might be the first one on the list for them. Let's just quickly touch on him. I've only got about 2 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure we are hitting the like button. I'm not too sure what the likes are saying. I don't think I've seen Static in the building today, surprisingly. So I don't have an update on likes. Can someone update me on how many likes? We've got well over 100 people in the building. Yeah, please hit the like button. If you are newly watching, do subscribe to the channel. We go live every single day. So you don't want to miss out on the content that we've got coming out. And go and check out the other videos whilst you're here. Well, of course, after the stream. Big up Abdul. He says, would you take Eze and Elise if Palace go down? 120 million %. Only 53 likes, says Ashley. Says, come on, people. Come on, guys. Hit the like button. Let's get this up to 100 likes at a bare minimum. I've got 2 minutes. So you've got 2 minutes to try and push me to 100 likes. I need to see it. Come on, guys. Wax, something that isn't being spoken about is if we do move on Eddie, ESR and Ramsdale, we're going to need English players to fill the quota. Absolutely, Christopher. And it's one thing I have mentioned quite a few times over the past couple of months. It's one of the reasons why we had to keep Rob Holding and people like that at the club for so long. It's because of the HG problem. If we get rid of a young English player, we're going to need to, bring another one in. And when you think about the English market and you look at all the players that are on the English market, it's like, who can you bring in that is a significant improvement on Rob Holding? Or there is multiple players, actually. I think we found out over the past couple of months since he has not even made a debut, I don't think, for Crystal Palace. But who's a real significant improvement on Eddie Nketiah who isn't going to cost you close to 100 million? Do you know what I mean? And that's how Arsenal have had to look at it. This is the reason why Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, all of these type of dons have had to stay. Because if I replace one of those dons, there isn't too many options out there. And not only that, it's going to cost me a lot of money to replace them. So I'd rather keep them, fill certain holes, figure it out over the next coming months, years or whatnot. And I think we're at that point now. Declan Rice was a homegrown replacement for Rob Holding. So when we sold Rob Holding, we knew we had to get Declan Rice. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to register a full squad, and Arsenal would have been hit with a fine. I find out if you can't register enough homegrown players for a team, you get fined for that. You get fined, bro. So, these are two things that Arsenal are trying to avoid. Not being able to register 25 man as well as being fined. I remember the homegrown player has to be over 21, not under 21. So I know some people say, "Oh, we'll just use your youth players." It doesn't work that way. 63 likes, keep them rolling in, people. Absolutely keep them rolling in. Hit that like button. All right, so just to quickly touch on Keenan Yildiz, I've got to do this in about 60 seconds. Yeah. He's being linked with a move to Arsenal. Juventus have to get rid of the player or get rid of players, not necessarily this player, but they have to get rid of players because they need to balance their books, and they need money for, Max Allegri or a new manager if they decide to move for one. So there's going to be a lot of talks about a lot of their players being linked. We can't say for definite who it's going to be, but this young player has a 51 million release clause in his contract. Now, for me, based on what I've seen, based on how qualified this player is, and based on who this player can go on and become, you're talking about top status, top level statuses, bro. Like, he can be in a conversation with a Messi and these man in the future. We're talking about 5 years perhaps. But this is someone that I'll be putting money down on the table for, and I'll pull that trigger, bro, because I know with the way football's going and with the way the markets are being inflated, ladies and gentlemen, just know, within the next 5 to 10 years, players will be getting sold for 250, 300 million, 350, 400 million. And the contracts that these players are going to be getting are going to be astronomical. The money in the market is going crazy. And it's one of the reasons why you have to back KSE. Why is that? Let me take this off the screen. Why is that? Just before I come off the stream, yeah? It's because them man understood the market. Them man have looked at the market, and it's one of the reasons why they've gone with building up young players and selling them for a profit, as well as trying to build a young team. Building the young team wasn't about building it for the future to win everything, and I hope it is, but it wasn't the main agenda for Arsenal. It was about the finances, about staying in contention with the biggest clubs in the world, because we want the same assets: 500 million pound players, 400 million pound players, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, if it comes worse for Arsenal and Arsenal don't maybe win major honours, which I don't think is going to be the case, I think we're going to make that happen. Arsenal will be fine to alleviate any type of financial pressure, because we've got so many players that will be worth 200-300 million pounds. And that's just how Stan Kroenke and them lot have looked at it from a business perspective. So these guys, we're in good owners' hands, man. Like, I've always believed in KSE, but they know what they're doing. They want the best for the football club, and we've seen that over the past couple of years. So let's hope it continues, man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, big up Paul, big up King Books, big up Andre, just dropped in, big up J Dub, big up the other Christopher I can see in the building, big up Ashley, big up Abdul, DJ live streams, blood. I don't like your name, big up every single one of you in the building. Big up James Bond. He's saying that James Bond actually says that Palhinha is always suspended. He's a risk. Barella is the man we need. Yeah, I'll take Barella all day as well. What another baller he is. Big up my guy A9. A9 says Bun Wenger. He's got a lot of hate for Wenger. Big up all the guys in Australia. We appreciate you. Make sure we are hitting the like buttons. Join the channel. Subscribe. Become a member. It does take the channel a very, very long way. It helps with the growth of the channel, of course. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.